are we, ladies? We are the Tigers. When your feet hit the ground, you should be running. You're in the hunt for your next great championship. Who are we?
We are Tigers!
Who are we?
We are Tigers!
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Coach Dee Dee Bro. Brought to you by New Orleans Roast Coffee.
Welcome to another edition of Inside LSU Gymnastics. Tonight, we come to you from Raleigh, North Carolina, where the Fighting Tigers of LSU took on the NC State Wolfpack inside Reynolds Arena tonight. And the LSU Tigers are victorious with a 196-925 score, the third highest road score of the season for LSU. Joining me now is LSU Associate Head Coach Jay Clark. Jay, on the uneven bars tonight, your Fighting Tigers come out with a 49-2 team score. They start off tonight with Jessie Jordan back at the top of the bars lineup with a 9.75 tonight, followed by Brittany Ramsey with a 9.8. She just continues to mature on the uneven bars.
Yeah, I thought Jessie did a great job. Jessie warmed up incredibly well tonight. You know, she did the best routine I'd seen her do in a long time in warm-ups, and then but it was good to get her back out there. I think she gives us a good look in that spot, and she just has to be confident and to be able to get us started off. And then Brittany Ramsey just continues to get better. She stiff-legged landing tonight. It was there for her to stick, but she landed stiff and ended up taking a step. But the meat of her routine is very good. It is, and I thought tonight on bars as a whole, the technical aspects of each event were very solid, just again fighting for those landings. Yeah, again, they were aggressive on their handstands. Everything, their form, their shapes on top of the bar looked very, very good. They've continued to improve in all of those areas, but at the end of the year, we need to be landing better than we did tonight. Kaylee Dixon, 9.8, followed by Reagan Corville's 9.875, which was good enough to tie for the bars title tonight with LSU's Sari Morrison. But those last four in your lineup, Jay, they just continue to get better every week. They do, and if they land, you would have seen 9.95s across the board on those back four if they had done that. Kaylee was short on her last handstand, but the rest of them were very strong routines. Reagan went 9.875 with a step on a dismount. Sari went 9.875 with a step on a dismount, and so we just came up short on the landings tonight, and I think that was the difference between what was a 49.2 and what potentially was a 49.5 out there tonight. Well, the Tigers go into the second rotation tonight just behind by a 0.5 of a point, but it was meet on in the second rotation. But before we get there, Jay, wanted to talk a little bit about how this bars lineup continues to grow. 49.2 on the road, a very respectable road score tonight. It is. And we focus on the things that we, as coaches, you want things to be perfect, and you focus on the things that you've got to improve on, and so we tend to gravitate to those. But it has been a work in progress all year long, and they've grown in their consistency level, and they've grown in their execution. They've progressed in a very good way all year long and put themselves in the top 6 or 8 in the country on that event, which at one time, if you'd have told me that would have happened, I don't know that I would have believed it. But they've worked hard, they've gotten better and better and better, and their confidence has grown. And I think as their confidence grows, their execution grows, and it just sort of is a snowball. So I think we're close to where we want to be. I think we're peaking, I hope, at the right time as we get down the stretch here, and so we just hope that we go into SECs and find those landings on that podium. 9.875 was the score for LSU's Sari Morrison on the uneven bars tonight, giving her 9 out of 10 championships on the event so far this season. Garrett Walters with LSU Athletics had a chance to go a day in the life with LSU's Sari Morrison. Let's take a look.
The daily demands of an LSU student athlete can be quite time-consuming. Early morning workouts, study halls, going to class, and afternoon practices, all of which prepare the athletes for future success. Now in her junior season, Sari Morrison has not only become a master of time management, she's branched out to enjoy all of the facets of student living that LSU has to offer.
A day in the life, it's waking up early and coming in and doing cardio and conditioning and things like that. Going back home and getting our books and bags and getting ready for class. We have normally around 4 classes a day, so we go to class, and then in the afternoon, early afternoon, we start practice. And we're normally there from about 1 to 4, and we'll do conditioning there a little bit, do cold tub, and by that time it's about 6 o'clock, and then it's time for dinner, and then we have a long night of homework, and it starts all over again.
After a 6:30 morning workout, Morrison and her teammates received treatment at the Broussard Training Center before heading off to class. With 3 courses scheduled back-to-back, Sari creates time for afternoon study halls before heading off to practice. Academic advisor Jay Jenkins is a former gymnast, now working in the Cox Center for Student Athletes, and knows well the demands each day can bring.
I get to see it from a different side now, everything that goes in to helping the student athletes succeed, and I really like that part. And I have a lot of stories I can tell them, of things that I've gone through very similar to what they might be going through now. But once they do it, continue to succeed at it, they're set up after to step out and go into a chosen career path.
After meeting with her advisor, Morrison heads for the LSU practice facility. The Tigers are preparing for their senior night meet against defending national champion Alabama.
Okay, y'all, it's more than about us. It's more than about LSU. It's about the women that are underserved, and this event helps us raise money to be able to provide for those people. It's also keep in mind that it's Alabama. We're warriors. We fight, okay? And our shirts are gonna say we fight for a cause, and we are fighting for a cause tomorrow night, okay? All right, let's go. Let's make it a good one. Let's make it a good one.
LSU is known throughout the country for its vibrant Greek life, and numerous fraternities and sororities flourish on campus. Morrison liked the appeal of Delta 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 and rushed last fall.
I'm a tri-delt, and I just joined this year, my junior year. So far it's been such a great experience for me because I've gotten to do more things that so-called a normal college student would do. I have a lot more friends. They come and support all of the meets. We hang out together. There's dinner at the house all the time, and it's just really exciting and different experience that has made me build as a person.
Morrison is on track to graduate from LSU next year, even after a whirlwind freshman season that saw her earn all SEC honors.
My major is sports administration. I'm minoring in communications. I plan on going into medical sales and graduating 2014. And especially starting as a freshman, it's difficult to find the right time management. You have to balance time between practice, between meeting with your coaches, coming in here with your advisor, doing all of your schoolwork, tutoring, trying to manage time for yourself. So that whole freshman year is just kind of like getting used to everything and trying to balance out everything.
The hard work of their daily routine pays off for Sari and her teammates each weekend when the Tigers suit up and perform in front of their loyal fans at home and on the road.
To be able to be in front of your crowd that's rooting for you is just, it almost gives you the goosebumps. It's just so exciting to walk out of that Tiger head and, have that disco ball in there and everyone standing up cheering for you and rooting for you. It makes all of the work worth it. And when you realize that you've won as a team, it's just the experience to be able to be there, obviously with your team, but with the crowd is a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro is brought to you by New Orleans Roast Coffee, the LSU Tiger Spotters, Wow Cafe American Grill and Wingery, Flying Tigers Gymnastics Camp, PJ's Coffee, Glenn Armentor Law Corporation, and by Premier Office Products.
Support the LSU Tigers and grab the hottest officially licensed gear from LSUshop.net. Gear up from head to toe with authentic Tigers apparel by Nike. Look like a true fan by heading to LSUshop.net for thousands of Tigers items. Get the best customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and flat rate shipping on any size order. All at the official online store of the LSU Tigers, LSUshop.net.
Taste that brew, billowing apple pie. Walk on in, see a few friends, where you at, what now?
Yeah, got to get up early in the morning, man. I gotta have my coffee. So I'm gonna run on down to PJ's. You gotta have it. It's early in the morning.
Who are we?
We are Tigers!
Who are we?
We are Tigers!
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Coach Dee Bro.
We're back on Inside LSU Gymnastics tonight from Raleigh, North Carolina, where the victorious LSU Tigers with an impressive road victory tonight over the Wolfpack inside Reynolds Arena. And joining me now is assistant coach Bob Moore. And Bob, going into the second rotation tonight, the Tigers were actually down a half-tenth, but after the vault, that certainly wasn't the case. Your team really stepped up.
Right, they did, you know, and I thought they were just a little bit tired tonight. I thought they were a little bit flat. But they really fought. You know, they fought for landings, and they did a great job.
Kaylee Dixon was first up in your lineup tonight, goes 9.75, followed by Brittany Ramsey, getting an opportunity, Bob, to see her for only the second time in the vault. She's got such promise.
Yes, she does. She's really powerful, and she is really going to be a competitor on vault, a real force to reckon with.
Brittany Taylor, 9.85. It was a really nice effort.
Yeah, yes, it was. I mean, and you know, and I wanted to tell Brittany at the end, you know, you really gave up a 9.95. You know, she really did.
With the step.
With the step. You know, you counterbalance yourself because you have force going up and back, and so you know it's just a matter of counterbalancing, and they sometimes miss it.
Jessie Jordan with the first 9.9 of the night for the Tigers from one judge, 9.85 from the other. She's able to go 9.875 on vault tonight. Another opportunity for the Tigers there.
Right, I was really pleased with Jessie. She was fighting for that landing, and she had just a little slight balance check, hence the one judge 9.85.
So your final two in the lineup tonight, Randy Lau, the sophomore from Honolulu, Hawaii, 9.9 tonight. It's the first 9.9 for the Tigers in the meet, and then followed by Reagan Corville with a 9.95. Those two young ladies have a very bright future in this event.
Oh yeah, and I'm tickled to see that it's working like I would envision it. You know, they're just getting solid. You know, they're getting expectant of themselves for that type of performance to be there. So I'm just really tickled.
And Reagan Corville wins 4 out of the 5 titles tonight in Reynolds Center. And after the meet, we had a chance to catch up with the sophomore from Baton Rouge.
I think we had a really strong momentum building on floor, starting with Jessie. She did a great job starting us off, and we kept carrying momentum, trying to stick our landings. There's definitely stuff we can improve on, and we're going to take it back to the gym and work even harder.
We're doing really good. You know, we keep climbing in the rankings, and we just gotta keep practicing the little details, and we'll get there, and we'll be the national champions we want to be.
Back now on Inside LSU Gymnastics, head coach Dee Bro joins me. And Dee, at the halfway point of tonight's meet here at North Carolina State, the Tigers with a 98.55 score, and you're on the way to the floor exercise tonight, and you start off with Jessie Jordan and a 9.8. Felt like things were starting to roll for LSU a bit.
Well, we had some consistency in our first two events, and I felt like, you know, short of some stuck landings, we did an excellent job. Going into floor, you want to carry that momentum. You want the #1 floor team to show up, and I think they did. But Jessie Jordan stepped up. I thought her tumbling was really good tonight. The floor was bouncy, and she managed her landings really well. It was very clean. Started us off with a 9.8. You know, and maybe in another venue it would have been a 9.85, but it was a great routine.
Yeah, and second in the lineup tonight, Brittany Taylor ties her career high with a 9.85.
Her tumbling was high, her dance was great, and you know, the one thing that I was really happy about is her diagonals were strong. She did a super job.
Well, and speaking of super job and strong in the lineup, Kaylee Dixon, the fourth-year junior from Oldsmar, Florida, steps up in the third spot tonight with another 9.85.
I felt like her performance, her presentation, her energy, her enthusiasm about being out there was exactly what we needed in the middle of that lineup.
Reagan Corville's 9.875. One judge goes 9.9, and I kind of scratched my head on that one a little bit. I thought that her presentation was as good as it's been all season.
Well, her double Arabian into that corner, right where that judge was beautiful. I mean, it was high. Her position was great. She landed solid. She turns right around and goes front through to a double tuck and opens out and lands standing straight up. There's really not a deduction that I'm seeing. Right. Her leap pass, her amplitude, her presentation, her poise on the floor was what we needed it to be tonight.
Reagan Corville's 9.875 tonight on the floor was good enough to seal a spot in the all-around tonight, just a half-tenth off of her career high with a 39.55 effort. But then Lomencia Hall tonight on the floor. Dee wins the floor title with a 9.9.
Her double layout was beautiful. Opens up with a beautiful double lay. Her middle pass, 2-point landing, just nails it. You know, when she's on the road, she doesn't do all the extra stuff in the dance. Her presentation isn't everything that it is when she's at home. But her last pass was good, a little bit off on the landing there, and but finished and was certainly enough to bring us some great momentum going into our last event.
Well, there was a great crowd of LSU Tigers inside Reynolds Center tonight, and one of those groups came down from Virginia all the way down to North Carolina to root on their very own Brittany Ramsey. And after tonight's meet, we had a chance to catch up with Brittany.
It was my mom that came, my dad's here, and my mom brought some of her gymnasts, and of course they had shirts and 2 big heads of me, but it was fun. They brought a big crowd and they all cheered, so that was fun too.
I think we did very well tonight. Our our scores didn't quite show that, but I think it was a stepping stone. It's an improvement, and next week we're going to come out and show the SEC what we can do.
For years, we've maintained our track record of success for those hurt while giving back to the community. Doing what's right has its rewards, and we're honored to be called the best by you. Earlier this year, a jury of tens of thousands of people, many of you, considered the facts, the evidence, and made a just decision of which law firm is the best. The verdict is in. For the 5th year in a row, thank you.
Wow.
The WOW Performance of the Week brought to you by WOW Cafe. Brittany Taylor started us off on beam, created the momentum that brought this team victory.
As we moved into the 4th and final rotation of our meet tonight inside of Reynolds Center, the LSU Tigers moved to the balance beam, and the senior from Memphis, Tennessee, Brittany Taylor, starts off the Tigers' DD with a terrific score.
You know, we asked Brittany to go in and be our lead and step up there and give us a consistent performance, give us as good as she can, and that's what she did. And you know, her skills, her amplitude in what she's doing, but it's her focus and her commitment to, I want to contribute to this team. I mean, that was a great lead off for us.
Another seasoned veteran, and Kaylee Dixon, another 9.8. So you go a pair of 9.8s to get things rolling.
Told her before she started to be conservative. So we're not going to do 2 layouts tonight. Give me 1 layout, and I'm on the end of the beam, and she is a little bit crooked. She came out of the back handspring and opened her hips. And she went for the 1 layout and hit solid. And then finishes up with a beautiful leap combination and nails the dismount, exactly what we needed to do to set up the next performer.
Which was Lomencia Hall, and her 9.825 in the heart of the order, you know, really helped set up those last 2 in Reagan Corville and Jessie Jordan.
You know, Mincy just got up, and at her first leap, she stacked it up, nice soft landing. She gets to her back handspring back layout, she takes a breath, and when she takes that breath and relaxes, I know that the back handspring is going to be slow and the layout's going to rise, exactly what she did. And then her next leap combination was beautiful. She shows 180, nice and soft in the landing.
Well, the judges reward her with a 9.825 tonight, and then Reagan Corville's 9.85 is good enough to win the beam title. And she is just so soft and light on the balance beam.
She's beautiful on the beam. Her Arabian tonight was right on, and a gentleman over my shoulder starts clapping. He had never seen an Arabian on the beam before. And so, I mean, the crowd was very appreciative of the quality of her performance. But her back layout, she brings it down, she stands it straight up. And then beautiful dismount combination. Front aerial, sewn through to her dismount and stuck the dismount. But that was a beautiful beam routine.
Well, and then Jessie Jordan seals the deal for the LSU Tigers tonight with a 9.825 in the anchor spot on the balance beam. And Jessie has become one of those Tigers you can just rely on.
You know, we talk about cold water in your veins, and she mounts, she does a beautiful front aerial, and she right into a back handspring back layout. It's not connected, but it's right there, back-to-back 2 passes. Her side salto, chest is up when she lands, and sticks her dismount. I mean, it's what we need from this point till the end of the season, ice water in her veins.
49-1 for the LSU Tigers on the balance beam tonight, helping them to a 196-925 overall team score. Third highest on the road, Dee Dee, this year, and overall it was a solid effort out here in the Eastern time zone.
Well, you know, it was, and you don't want to have your best performance the week before the SECs. You want to have a great performance. You don't want to do anything that's going to shatter your confidence. You know, Mike, this team is a joy. I think they've given a lot of people a lot of pleasure throughout the season. And the performances have gotten better and better, and I'm really pleased. I'm very happy with where we are and in the direction that this team is headed.
Well, I'll tell you what's been a joy, and that's been able to sit with you for the last 10 weeks and sit with Bob and Jay and do this inaugural inaugural season of Inside LSU Gymnastics. But it's been because of some great sponsors, Dee Dee, that we've been able to pull this off, and it's really a first for us. It's been great in doing it, but I want to say thanks to PJ's Coffee, to New Orleans Roast, also to Glenn Armentor Law Corporation, to Wow Cafe as well, Premier Office Products in Baton Rouge, of course our great Tiger Spotters, and the Flying Tiger Gymnastics Camp. All of them came together and supported this show and this effort, and it's just been tremendous.
Well, you know, Mike, and those are our sponsors, but we've had friends that have given us money and said, this show is so good, you know. We had Leslie Gottschall gave us money. The Luthers from Monroe have given us money for the show. Sarah Morrison's mom and stepdad. You know, people realize how much fun it is and what we're trying to do with this. And it has been an absolute phenomenon how much support that has grown and the enthusiasm that we have created. And it's shown in our crowds. It has shown in the response that we've had when we're on the road. We had a huge crowd here. I was amazed how many LSU people were here, and I didn't know them.
Yeah, it was really tremendous. And also thanks, Dee Dee, to our friends at CSS, our friends at Cox Sports Television as well, and our friends at WBRZ in Baton Rouge for all that they do to make sure that our show is coming to you for these 10 weeks during this season. And Dee Dee will be right back to wrap up the show and wrap up the first season of Inside LSU Gymnastics after this time out.
Students everywhere agree LSU is a phenomenal choice. Experience the campus where passion becomes genius. Now, only at LSU.
Taste that brew, mellow and apple pie. Walk on in, see a few friends. Where you at, what night?
Yeah, got to get up early in the morning, man. You know, I gotta have my coffee. So I'm gonna run on down to PJ's. You gotta have it. It's early in the morning.
This week's Stick of the Week, brought to you by Premier Office Products, goes to Jesse Jordan. The anchor on balance beam tonight with a 9.825 seals the deal for the Fighting Tigers in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's going to wrap it up for the inaugural season of Inside LSU Gymnastics. The Tigers, Dee Dee, have one big meet to come for sure, and that's the SEC Championships on Saturday. It's going to be a barn burner in Little Rock.
And you know what? Follow us on the website, follow us in the Go Zone, and then go to LSU Gymnastics on YouTube because we're going to put highlights up.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a great postseason.
And of course, the Tigers will be fighting for a #1 seed in an NCAA regional in a few weeks to come, so pay attention to the LSU social media. Our Twitter, don't forget, is at LSUGYM, and of course our Facebook page as well, LSU Gymnastics. So for head coach Dee Dee Bro, for associate head coach Jay Clark, and assistant coach Bob Moore, I'm Mike Smith saying thank you for watching us this season on Inside LSU Gymnastics. We'll see you down the road.
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Dee Bro has been brought to you by New Orleans Roast Coffee, the LSU Tiger Spotters, Wow Cafe American Grill and Wingery, Flying Tigers Gymnastics Camp, PJ's Coffee, Glenn Armentor Law Corporation, and by Premier Office Products.